Biochar offers us a possibility of forming a partnership with the trees. During the growing season, trees take in carbon dioxide from the air to build their limbs, fruits, seeds, and roots. Depending on the size of the tree, this carbon can be held for decades. When the trees or limbs die, microbes start the rotting process, which returns most of the carbon back to the atmosphere. By charring the wood, we can sequester carbon in a more permanent manner, even for hundreds to thousands of years. Something happens in the charring process which makes normal rotting impossible. The bacteria or microbes that break down wood normally are unable to break down the char. Charcoal samples taken from soils along the Amazon River have been carbon dated back 5,000 years and longer. Normally, rotting wood will remain in the soil for years or decades, but not for thousands of years. Turning the wood into biochar takes it out of the atmosphere for a long enough period of time to affect global warming. Putting biochar in the soil also makes the soil more fertile. The pit. Making charcoal in a pit has been used for thousands of years. The pit should have no holes in the bottom for air to come in. This is easy with a pit in the ground because there are no holes. If you get a commercial pit that is above ground, it should not have any holes anywhere beneath the rim for air to enter. If it does, they must be filled. The sticks. We use dead and very dry sticks for a hotter, more smoke-free fire. In the interest of time, we use sticks about 1.5 inches or 3.8 centimeters in diameter or smaller. Lighting the fire. Whether you are using a commercial fire pit or one that you have dug in the ground, the process is the same. You put the medium sticks in the bottom of the pit and save the smaller ones that will be easy to light to put up near the top. The very fine materials may be straw, paper, or some other lightweight plant material. They're placed up near the top and under some small sticks that are easy to start. Tending the fire. In both the lighting and tending the fire, you always want to have the fire burning on top of all the material. Since air is only coming in over the top edge of the pit, it feeds the fire that is burning on top. This uses all the oxygen coming in so that the charred materials underneath will not be further burned up. You add sticks on top as the white ash appears on the sticks that were just burning. What we see as fire is the oils that are being boiled out of the sticks as wood gas. When the flame lessens and the white ash appears on the sticks, the oils have been pretty much boiled out of those sticks. The wood within has turned to charcoal. By putting sticks on top at that point, you reignite the fire at the top, continuing to use up the oxygen that is coming in over the rim. This ensures that the charcoal underneath is preserved because it can't get enough oxygen to burn to completion. Larger sticks should be added after the fire is established and well before the ending of the burn. The larger sticks will take a longer time to char completely through to the center. Putting the fire out. Wait until the orange fire from the wood gases dies out. Water is the best way to put out the fire. Stir the char thoroughly with the water to make sure it is all out. The char will be very hot and can be stubborn to extinguish. This is very disappointing to come back later and find that the charcoal you made is gone, all burned up. Adding biochar to the soil. It is best to grind the biochar before adding to the soil. The smaller the particle size, the greater the surface area to hold minerals and microbes. Charcoal is an excellent filter since it holds minerals to its surfaces. Because of this attractive quality, raw charcoal will pull in and hold soil minerals until it is saturated. Charging the biochar. We must add minerals to the charcoal before putting it in the soil so that crops grown there will not have access to the minerals they need for growth. Once the biochar is charged, it will give and take minerals more readily. We charge our biochar by adding compost or fertilizer and minerals. Urine can also be used in charging the biochar because it is rich in nitrogen. Microbes can also be introduced by adding worm castings. Our outreach. Heartland All Species Project and KC Farm School are encouraging the making of biochar by residents anywhere there are urban forests. Putting biochar in our soil will increase the amount of carbon sequestered. This will slow climate change while encouraging neighborhood community that supports environmental health and the knowledge of ecology. Grassroots action everywhere on Earth is necessary to sustain life as we know it. We encourage people to make biochar with neighbors and friends. We are also creating a model for not-for-profit organizations and community gardeners to collect sticks to make biochar which can enrich their gardens and yards. This is our local model. People who live within about a mile of our Tracy garden are encouraged to save sticks that we can pick up for our biochar making events. We are asking our neighbors to come together to gather knowledge and work to bring our earth back into balance. There are 40 million acres of yards in the U.S. The soil can hold a lot of carbon. What better place to work for our future than where we live? You may not be in our immediate neighborhood, but you are our neighbor. Help us all grow and develop together. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.